Hey yo, what is up, my good peoples? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to bring you another dumb as hell review. Now, on today's review, we're going to be reviewing and talking about Marvel's What If, and for this one is Marvel's What If Thor Were an Only Child. Now, for this one, we're going to break it down like we usually do. First of all, there's going to be spoilers in this. I don't really know how to review a TV show without doing spoilers. So there's going to be spoilers for this. Also, I'm going to break it into my 4 parts usually, which are my overall expectations going in, my overall positives, my overall mixed feelings, and end it off with a review score. Now, as far as expectations going in, for this one, I didn't really know how to feel going into this one. I knew that there was a Thor episode coming up, and I knew that it was going to be a lot of different things going on with this episode, and it was mostly going to be about Thor as a partier and stuff like that. It's probably going to be a more lighthearted affair. And I wasn't really understanding what to expect from this one, but I kind of knew what it was. And once we got it, I have to say, as an episode goes, it's okay. Now, let's start off with the positives. For me, I would say the first positive I have is that overall, I like the backstory that they had where Loki is given back to the ice giants, and now he's kind of growing up in a different way, and Thor doesn't really grow up with him. I kind of like that idea. It was a nice little switch for the story and everything, and it pushed it in a different way for me. Um, I would say that another thing I really enjoyed about this episode was the idea of it being a party that's thrown by Thor. You kind of start off at the beginning where Thor doesn't, what Thor, oh man, you start off at the beginning where Thor's father Odin is going into the Odin sleep, and now he wants to go and party and stuff like that. Once he's asleep, his mother goes away, Odin's in sleep, and he wants to go and party. They try to do it on Asgard. It's not the place, so they go down to Earth to do the party. You start to see at the beginning that the way they change things is that what's their names? Jane Foster and Darcy are detect Thor again, and now they want to try to stop him once they figure out, yo, there's a party going on. What I also liked about this episode was seeing all the cameos. I enjoyed seeing all the other people from the other Marvel shows and movies and stuff like that. The Jeff Goldblum guy as the DJ at one of the at part of the party. That was pretty fun to watch. Also enjoyed where the images. This is one of my favorite things here, and I like that they're just showing him more. We're getting to see more of Howard the Duck. I like the little part where he ends up marrying Darcy. I thought that was pretty funny and everything. Overall, I thought this had some really good stuff, and I think the thing I liked the most was the action scenes. You start to see no, before I talk about the action scenes, also, you see Loki come in as an ice god. That was pretty entertaining. I really liked the design of him. I liked seeing a different tone of Loki. He was kind of more jovial. He was a little bit nicer, so it kind of painted the whole idea of maybe maybe Loki would have been better off without Odin him. Maybe that would have been a better thing. I enjoyed that part of the story. But like I was going to say, my favorite thing about this episode overall was the action scenes. And to me, when you started to get here we go. Yes. When you started to get Captain Marvel and Thor go out and fight, I really enjoyed those scenes. I thought they did a really let's get that off the screen. I thought they did a really good job of showing how the action was in this episode and going through all the stuff with them. I thought there was some really good shots. I thought there was some really good just visuals. It was choreographed really nicely, and I really enjoyed the action throughout on this, man. Like that shot right there, even though it's a kind of a basic action shot, I thought it was pretty dope, especially for an American cartoon. You don't really get a chance to see a lot of great action scenes in American cartoons, and I really enjoyed that. And overall, I think that was to me was the best part of the show was doing all of that stuff, having all the craziness, seeing all the stuff go down in the party and stuff like that, and all the cameos and everything. Let me see if I have another one here. Ah, yes, this one where you see I forget his name, but the fire god thing that was in Thor Ragnarok. You see him come back and try to hit on Statue of Liberty. I thought that was pretty funny. But overall, for me, and this is where I'm going to my mixed feelings. I think the thing that I was mixed on the most was that it didn't feel like it was the right time to have this type of episode. I get it that the last like 4 episodes were pretty dark. The problem is that this is the seventh episode, and we only have 9 episodes of the show, and this kind of feels that it breaks the tone a little bit too much. It does something that I was fearing that it was going to do, where it was going to get a lot more lighter going towards the end instead of kind of carrying on that tone that it had. Even though I feel that the last episode was pretty light with the zombies, I enjoyed that episode for what it was. But with this one, the light tone didn't really groove for me. It kind of felt more of a filler episode than anything. And while I enjoyed it for what it was, it didn't really do anything for me. I would also say that I wasn't a huge fan of all the party stuff. Some of it just seemed to happen because, and it really didn't have any through storyline that I was really interested in. It was okay to watch, but it wasn't anything that kept me going. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone episode that you go, it was there, and that's what this kind of was. Um, I like how it ended though, with Thor having to do the big cleanup, the Ferris Bueller and house party type thing, where everybody got to clean it up and get everything restored back to in order before his mom comes back. That was pretty okay for what it was. But yeah, I don't think Jane Foster was that interesting here. She kind of felt how she felt in the movie, where she was just there. I get why, but it kind of felt that. I did, however, though, let me go to this image. I did enjoy Captain Marvel in this episode. She seemed really tough. They had a really good battle with her and Thor. I thought they had some really, just them together was a lot more interesting than anything else in this episode. And I was excited when I saw them fighting and just going through their whole thing and battling and throwing across each other across Earth. That was more interesting than anything. But overall, this episode for me was just middle of the road. There was nothing really heavy to keep me going with this one. I didn't think about it afterwards. Even when I'm doing a review now, it was kind of hard for me to remember fully what happened. I had to actually go back and look at images and stuff to kind of refresh my brain on everything. Yeah, this was kind of a nothing episode, and for that, I probably go. I'm thinking about 3 stars, maybe 2.5, but probably three. It's still an okay episode. It's just not as good as the other ones. It's probably my second to least favorite of all the show episodes that we had so far. But with that being said, I want to say thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the episode and all that jazz. And I'm gonna be out of here. Peace.